Greetings from the west side of Cleveland, Ohio. Today is Saturday, November 15th, 2025 at 2 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time, 64 degrees Fahrenheit. Really nice temperature day, even though there's some potential rain in the forecast. You can see this is the intersection of Lorraine Avenue and West 30th Street. Got the Wendy's over there, Trinity, part of the St. Ignatius campus. And then if you went that way down Lorraine Avenue, you could see a 22 just passed by. That would be heading further westbound. And then if you went the other way, that'd be heading toward West 25th Street. But this is St. Ignatius High School. I did a short a couple of months ago nearby this area. It's a pretty area. Even though many of the leaves have fallen, you can still see the nice courtyard area. Looks like they may be putting a new, if I had to guess, statue there or monument of some kind. I'm not too familiar with what all the individual buildings are, but this here says St. Mary of the Assumption Chapel. I gotta remember, I should have took a picture earlier, but I'll go ahead and snap one now of the general area. There it says St. Ignatius College. Over there to our left is Loyola Hall. You got the clock there as well. I guess we could look at the campus map and that'll give us an idea of the building. So right here, that's what we showed first, the St. Mary of the Assumption Chapel. Well, we know this area, which we're not showing right now, but there's the football field, Murphy Fieldhouse, DeSanto Hall. They got the gymnasium here. So the thing that behind us says St. Ignatius College, which is this right here on the campus map, that's saying that's the main building. Also contains the Wildcat Shop and the Schott Library, as well as the Walton Center for E-Learning. And then the next building after the church so that would be Loyola Hall. That's the Companion Center for Faith That Does Justice, as well as the Sullivan Atrium, Clavius Science Center, Senior Lounge, Raid Dining Hall, and if you kept going toward West 32nd Street, you've got the Joseph Family Kitchen, Gibbons Hall, Walsh Academy, and then what we first showed across the street when I pointed by like Trinity Church, which Trinity Church would be over here. The big building was the Breen Center for Performing Arts. I remember when they were constructing that one. There's also an athletic center here, the soccer. Actually, there's soccer field's here. This is also, I think, more of a lesser football field at Kyle Field. Office of Advancement and Arupa Neighborhood Partnership. So, pretty big size high school campus. Gives you sort of at least for me, when I'm used to the Cleveland schools growing up, all we had really was the one building at John Marshall High School, and then you got the football field. This, gives me the vibes of a mini campus. Got the nice benches. Fall season. There's Christmas lights surrounding some of these trees, so I wonder at nighttime if it's how lit up it looks. Because I don't think I've ever been through here in the evening time. Visitor check-in at the main building there as well. couple months ago they were doing some work here. It looks like they still are. But what we're going to do is go down West 30th Street here and up to Bridge. And then we're just going to do a nice casual walk down Bridge. I think it'll do a fair job at capturing the fall atmosphere. And this, I wouldn't be surprised if this is the best weather day remaining for the month of November. I mean, you're going to be getting close to Arctic temperatures. As you can see the leaf cleanup crew down there. People still with pumpkins out for the fall festive season, even though Halloween has passed. Right here is Hex Cafe and Drinks. So there's part of Bridge going down that way. That would be again heading toward West 25th Street and more of the Ohio City neighborhood. We're just going to go ahead and turn up and go westbound from here and enjoy some of the neighborhood views after the light turns. You got a mixture. If you were just across the street there, you'd be like, oh, all the houses or all the trees, the leaves are gone. But on this side, you can still catch the fall flare. Up there, the label on the building says West Side Community House. Let me make sure I get a picture of this. I mean, this is pretty too. Look at that bright red colors on the leaves. Looks like on the side of West Side Community House there's also a sign on the edge there that says coffee, and people are enjoying coffee on the tables. I've done a video in the past down Bridge during, I believe, the summertime. Always note how you appreciate like the colorfulness and character of the old style looking houses. They're like petite, but also not super small at the same time. And as I said, a lot of people with the small pumpkins and cute little front yards. We're approaching West 32nd on this side, but right after that is the intersection of Bridge and Fulton. Over there on the right you can see Johnny Mango World Cafe and Bar. And in the sky you can see one of the airplanes coming in toward Cleveland. So this is, like I said, West 32nd Street. Some of those buildings we saw on the campus map for Ignatius would be located down that way, just a couple of them. Let's see here. Do we want? There's a stream of cars turning, so I'll wait till the next light. Look, over to our left, you've got Le Petit Triangle Cafe, and then diagonal from us, you have one of the Cleveland Public Libraries. Let me go ahead and press the button for this intersection. Make sure we get it triggered the next time it's due up. I can see the light behind me. The crosswalk is changing, so I think we're going to get the walk sign soon. This is the Carnegie West branch of the library, or for the Cleveland Public Library system. I feel like I may have been in there once, but it's one of the libraries where I've heard that it has like a good inside look to it. Several times on Saturdays over the summer, when my mom and I would be going by this church, there'd be a wedding happening around this time of day, but don't see the one at the moment. As you can see, the leaves blowing in the wind. I am curious. I'm not going to check out all these signs, but I see a bunch of signs or things posted here. I wonder if it's a storybook. Yeah, it is a visual storybook. Smallest of all but strong, are we keeping the forest wild and free? So around the library you can see all those posts that they have up. You can go through and read a story. As we approach West 38th Street now. Also got some artwork on the garbage can there. And then over diagonally from us is Westside Alliance Church. One second, I'm going to try to, I'm walking with a bicycle, so I'm trying to, I was carrying a bag on my shoulder, just putting it on my bike handlebars now instead. see all the bags of leaves this time of year. It's probably that decision you want to make, like, all the leaves do look pretty, but when does it come time to like rake them up before snow falls? Because when they're all wet and then it's snowy, it's not too fun to be like playing in the snow and you have a mixture of all the leaves still there. I'm just gonna grab another picture of this area. All the leaves collecting, and then now you've got the various colors on the trees on both sides of the street, also forming that canopy. And that's another reason why we like coming down this road during the summertime, for example. It offers very nice shade and much less traffic compared to the main roads like Lorraine Avenue, for example. It was going to go up on the sidewalk, but there's a stream. What is this? This is like a moving billboard. Something about setting the holiday table. I wanted to come over here because you got a nice house already decorated for Christmas season. The red house. And then the Ohio historical marker here for John W. Heisman birth site. I mentioned this once before in my video, but man for whom the Heisman Trophy is named. Now we're crossing Randall. There's a couple of roads here that are one-way streets, including this one. So you can see cars parked on both sides of the street going the same direction. There's a law office here, and then on the other end of the street you've got the May Dugan Center. I feel like there was construction there going on at one point. Sometimes time flies by, like that could have been a couple years ago that I recall that little bit of construction there. I always get the impression that this is a nice, peaceful neighborhood if you want to live and just like go outside, do some jogs around the neighborhood, walk your dogs, go for a walk. And it's right next to, or I guess probably included in the Ohio City delineation. Still some Halloween skeletons enjoying their pot. Lots of people with these gourds or whatever you want to call those. Other fall pumpkins. You also have the squirrels. The squirrel's escaping me. There it is. More pumpkins, although those ones have seen better days. Corn stalks. Now at the intersection of West 44th Street and Bridge. Interesting, up there it says formerly Harbor Street. And this is another one of the one-way roads. So it's one way going the opposite direction of what we saw earlier. Diagonal to our left is Mason's Creamery. I believe they close for the fall season. They definitely, I think, for the ice cream. I thought in the past, though, they may open up as like and serve something else during the other seasons of the year. But I'd have to look online or verify that myself again. I should say this. I definitely know I read that it was a thing in the past. I don't know if it's something they still actively do. Looks like there's a memorial along the pole over there. Now approaching West 45th Street, and you do see the red Ohio City signs above the street names. There's the Pledge of Allegiance on the side of this church building. This church building, along with all the nearby houses, would have nice flower arrangements during the whole summer. Now it looks like, unfortunately, the season has taken the best of them. But if you check back during other seasons of the year, they do a really nice job putting the arrangements there. And if I'm not mistaken, it looked like there would also be the flowers then arranged along all the edges of these buildings that I'm pointing the camera at. And I just assumed that the church had voluntarily contributed all those. Oh, look at the little doggy. He's excited to be on camera. He's like, ooh, human to play with. Over there on the intersection opposite of us at 47th Street, I assume that's an entirely new housing development. We've seen several of these along Bridge or Franklin before. This one is, again, 47th Street that we're along. As you also have the Palouse Marketplace. Yeah, I assume they're going to be building the steps that go up to each of those doorways and then start leasing those out, or who knows, maybe they already have commitments. This is a house here that looks like it has at least a new front porch. Like the whole house doesn't, I don't want to say it doesn't fit the vibe, but it looks like it's had like a lot of upgrades to it if it has been here a while. Like modern looking roof, pretty big yard. Oh geez, look at that, the house extends all the way to the back too. It's not just the front part. And the garage back there. Getting up near West 48th Street now. Still quite a few lights on Bridge, traffic lights, despite the fact that it's, I mean, it still gets, obviously, you can see there's enough cars, but it's not like super crazy busy. The flower painting at the old some form of an old gas station, I presume. Some of these colors have faded over time, but I remember when they had fresher coats of paint on the telephone poles, there would be a variety of colors, either the rainbow colors or, like up ahead, it's got a three-tone color. It's a little bit of a Christmas flare. You can see it appears to be a roof deck on that place. Other areas that have had gardens during the other times of the season. See if this is a church over here. Yeah, I would say based on the curved end that I could see coming up. Definitely not a residential house. At 52nd Street, Enterprise Full Gospel Church. Now the street starts to get a little bit wider over here on Bridge, and the houses, you can tell, aren't quite the same style that they were earlier. You also have, like over there to the left, type of development like they're doing earlier. That one's all finished, and that one has what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 units at least. And I think coming up here, it's a similar thing. Now the flag here says Gordon Square Arts District. I don't know if that's because they're... Oh! Let's see here. We got... What's the green sign say up here? I was going to say it's not. Okay, so according to the green sign, instead of the Ohio City, now it's the Cleveland Echo Village, which is sort of what we've seen referenced along 65th Street before. Now this development here, I'm trying to decide if it's brand new. I gotta think back to Google Maps and look. The reason I'm saying that is because you can see how there's definitely some work being done on the facades there. Some of these facades don't look quite new, so maybe they're just rehabbing parts of it. Yeah, I think just looking at the cement work and the stuff on the garage, I would say they're just trying to rehab some of the exteriors of this. That's probably been around a bit. We have another one up there, and then back behind there there's a school of some kind. I'm not sure what the school name is. Now you see how, it's transitioning to these, if you want to call them, townhomes. Because then over there on the left side of the street, there's an even bigger one that stretches several, or the entire block rather. Not only the entire block, but it has a little bit of depth to it going up toward Lorraine. as we're up at West 57th now, formerly Scott Street. So it's interesting how I've seen several of those things that say formerly along with a certain street name. Over here to our right, there's a small neighborhood park. You see the little seats and table there, archways. If people wanted to put things like notices in there, they could. And then see the title of it, Simmons Park. Now we're at West 58th Street, which says formerly Waverly Avenue. We'll just wait for this light to change. Let me try to check something on Google Maps in the meantime. Not too many trees down this street that are older. You got some new trees planted. Makes me think, over time, the city of Cleveland, you got a couple here that are new trees too. Over time, they're supposed to go through and identify trees that have outlived their lifespan, even if they're still in okay looking shape, and then they tear them down, and if you're lucky, you'll get a new tree planted. Yeah, but there's a second flag for Gordon Square Arts District. Even though it says Cleveland Echo Village, Gordon Square would be closer to Detroit Avenue, a few blocks that way. West 59th Street, got a small alleyway. Nice landscaping here with the Christmas tree lights. Looks like we got a Buffalo Bills fan up there with their flag. So we saw West 59th Street earlier, but the next road after this little bit of a walk, there's a small section on the left that says West 64th, but right at the light is West 65th Street. So you kind of have that leap while you're on bridge. You can see quite a few people out today trying to get those leaves raked up for the season. I always think that'd be cool to have a swing like that from the tree. I have to think about that for Sophia, but it's like, do you trust the tree branch not to just give and break? And then that puts us at West 65th Street. And the last time I was through here, I'm not sure if the school building was finished across the street, but it's all done now. Joseph M. Gallagher Pre-K through 8 school. They've also, on the corner of Franklin and 65th down there, which used to be a Rite Aid, all the Rite Aids went out of business, they have now opened a new Goodwill store there. And then across the way there, some Nehemiah Mission of Cleveland. And then that would take you down toward Lorraine Avenue that way. And then, like I said, that way would be Franklin, where Goodwill is, and then just a little bit further on, then you're at Detroit Avenue. That's going to go ahead and wrap up this video down Bridge. If you enjoyed what you saw, feel free to hit that like button. Subscribe if you haven't already, and thank you for tuning in. Please leave a comment down below. We will see you next time.